So President Biden spent the month of August telling a very different story to the American people than what we are seeing back home with the people that elect us to come back here to Washington. But don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it as Joe Biden's trying to spin this Bidenomics story. Look at the headlines that have come out in publications from your colleagues in the press. The housing market is stuck. Americans can't afford homes. Investors aren't buying property. Economists see little relief ahead. New York Post, credit card and car loan defaults hit a 10-year high as inflation squeezes families. This came out in Forbes just yesterday. In fact, as I was flying in from Montana, strapped for cash, more Americans are making early withdrawals from their retirement savings. And you've seen the headlines in the last month about credit card debt at over $1 trillion, an all-time record high. And now we've got new information that says our deficits are going to exceed $2 trillion. To put that in perspective, our deficit over the next year will be larger than the GDP of every country but 10 in the world. This is a direct result of what's happened, we've seen with President Biden and their spending spree. It's unacceptable, but the reality in Joe Biden's America versus what Americans are actually seeing are completely disconnected. It's time for the administration to reverse course on its out-of-control spending.
Dearest friends, please keep a watch on this as millions of Americans continue to receive new state stimulus payments this year. The Internal Revenue Service has just released some important information regarding these checks. Many households may be required to pay taxes on this extra money. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video, especially if you have received a stimulus check in the past. Also, tomorrow, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dearest friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. State stimulus checks, tax rebates, and inflation relief payments have been very popular. Millions of Americans in 21 different states received special state payments last year, and several states are sending more rebates and surplus tax refunds this year. The list of states include Minnesota, Montana, New Mexico, New Jersey, Alabama, and Pennsylvania. The Alabama Department of Revenue will start issuing their state relief checks on November 30th. Alabama state lawmakers passed a plan that calls for $150 rebates for single people and $300 for married couples. Almost 2 million people in the state of Alabama are expected to qualify for the one-time payment. So if you received a special state payment or are looking forward to one, a question on your mind might be whether you'll have to pay taxes on that money. Well, recently, the Internal Revenue Service has offered an answer. The tax agency announced guidance on the federal tax status of the state stimulus and other special payments made to individuals. The guidance, which applies to payments received this year, is part of the agency's effort to make the tax consequences surrounding these payments more straightforward. Clarity from the Internal Revenue Service on so-called state stimulus checks is essential because millions of taxpayers across the United States have received special rebates and payments as states return surplus revenue back to eligible residents. The payments varied by state, type, amount, and eligibility criteria. Last year, the IRS issued guidance applicable to 2022 state payments. At that time, the agency said most of the state stimulus payments were not taxable, but that in some cases, taxpayers may need to report the payments on their federal tax returns. The IRS also suggested that some taxpayers consider amending their 2022 tax returns if they reported the special state payments as income. This latest guidance addresses several questions involving 2023 special state payments, and in most cases, according to the Internal Revenue Service, taxpayers who receive special state payments in 2023 will not have to include the payments in their income for federal tax purposes. This is especially relevant for those who opt for the standard deduction on their federal returns. Most taxpayers claim this standard deduction. Some experts have said that if you itemize deductions on your federal income tax return and receive a state tax refund or special payment, you might need to include it in your federal income. But that is only if you deduct the state tax paid. Due to the $10,000 limit on itemized deductions for state income and property taxes, some taxpayers will not need to include the state refund in their income. Well, that can be confusing, but if you are unsure, do consult with a trusted tax professional before filing your 2023 federal tax return. It is worth noting that the IRS also provided guidance on a specific situation that occurred last year. According to the IRS, even if you do not receive your special state payment for 2022 until 2023, you can still exclude it from your federal income. In addition, the latest IRS guidance provides information on what the agency refers to as state general welfare programs. Certain states offer payments to individuals intended to support the general well-being of individuals or families who are in need. The IRS considers this money non-taxable income, but only if it comes from a governmental fund and is not compensation for services rendered. There has been debate recently about whether Colorado cashback payments are exempt from federal income tax. The new Internal Revenue Service guidelines do not explicitly mention the Colorado payments, which are essentially refunds to Colorado residents of state sales taxes paid. Several Colorado state legislators and Governor Jared Polis have requested that the IRS clarify this issue and avoid a situation where the refunds are considered taxable. Well, my magnificent and most marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Thursday. My dear friends, thank you so very much for joining me here and for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, I will be announcing several winners tomorrow for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you need to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dearest friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed day.